The balance of power in the U.S. Senate depends on what happens in just a handful of states, and Missouri's race is shaping up to be a close one. But Donald Trump's message of change in Washington actually might be helping the Democratic candidate in the Show Me state. Rich Edson live in my old college town, Columbia, Missouri, to explain. Rich.
Heck of a place, John. And, you know, it's a message that Donald Trump has employed effectively. Anti-Washington, anti-establishment, anti-incumbent. It's also playing here in the Missouri Senate race. We're talking about Jason Kander. He's the 35-year-old Secretary of State. He's an Army veteran, and he's a Democrat. And in his race against incumbent Republican Senator Roy Blunt, he's moved that message through, essentially arguing that he is trying to oust an insider.
That I will go there and I will replace Senator Blunt, and I will never become Senator Blunt.
And with that, this race is essentially tied or close according to the number of polls that we'd seen leading up to this race. Meanwhile, the Republican nominee, Donald Trump, had a pretty substantial lead going into a number of the polls that we saw over the last week. Roy Blunt, however, is running a campaign that's very typical Democrat versus Republican. He argues that this is for control of the United States Senate and, most importantly, control of the U.S. Supreme Court nomination process.
If you look at Missouri politics, this is a year like a lot of others where it's contested. I think the national Democrats will do anything to take over the Senate, and we're not going to let that happen.
Outside groups have unexpectedly spent tens of millions of dollars on this seat. Now, if this seat does go to the Democrat here, if it flips from the conservative Republican, the possibility of the fact it could be credited to perhaps the most unique voter this cycle, the split Donald Trump Senate Democrat candidate crossover vote. John, back to you.
Rich Edson in Missouri. Rich, thank you.